Well, this is what we're all here for, ladies and gentlemen. Please, a right big welcome for Bill Barclay. Thank you. Wait a minute, it's not switched on yet. I'll give you a shout when it's switched on. Do you like my shirt? I got in a packet of puff wheat. Look. Us puffs must stick together. No. I'd like to thank the boy very much for leaving the coat hanger in the shooters. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do tonight. We're going to put you in a picture. What we're going to do is we've done half, well, a quarter. Well, we've got one joke on the album for the marquee in London because they had trouble understanding what we're saying, you know. And anyway, what we're going to do is I'm just going to rattle on. I'm going to start with just about everything I know, which should take about 3 minutes. You can all get back to the bar. I'll start and just enjoy yourselves. Heckle me, shout rubbish, and you get bundled out the door. But enjoy yourselves anyway. Here we go. Now let's start just as I've walked on the stage and kid on that, you know, I've just arrived. Cats. Here we go, right? Bill Barclay, right? You're not daft, I've been recording for the beginning, you know. Right, but we'll use that later. Here we go. I'll start with chorus. I'm enjoying myself, bugger you up. I like my new shirt. Change for Octor Muckty, Terrier, Tupter, Creefer, Corricknots, Fifer, Jonagrods, Beecham's Pills or Quakerods, change for Echo, Fakin, Aberdeen, and Nard stations in between, unless you want to go to Tobermory. Oh, you know it, right. For those who haven't been here before, caught yous. Here we go. Change for Octor Muckty, Terrier, Tupter, Creefer, Corricknots, on your own. Beecham's Pills or Quakerods, change for Echo, Fakin, Aberdeen, and Nard stations in between, unless you want to go to Tobermory. Fantastic. George Mitchell, Mingers, straight again. Oh, I am a railway porter and my name is Willie Lee. Well, a finer looking felly you never like to see. I'm in charge of your stations for the Barton, Tay Dundee, and my duty is to tell you what to change for. Change for Octor, Muckty, Terrier, Tupter, Creefer, Corricknots, swing it. Five for Jonagrods, Beecham's Pills and Quakerods, change for Echo, Fakin, Aberdeen, and Nard stations in between, unless you want to go to Tober. Somebody singing in Braille, I can hear the fingers going. No. I always start by apologising in case anybody's got that thing wrong with them. Because I remember I was doing in Hull in Yorkshire before my work permit ran out, and I was singing away, and I says, there's somebody singing in Braille, I can hear the fingers going. And there was dead silence, and I went, oh dear. Even I wasn't laughing, I knew there was something wrong. And I looked down the front row and there was 12 white walking sticks. And the 12 blind people were rolling about the flare killing themselves. They thought I was taking them. Also, I used to tell a lot of Jewish jokes. I used to tell one about the two Scotsmen and a Jew went out for a drink. The two Scotsmen were drinking double whiskey, and the Jew was drinking Horlicks. When it came to his round, he's fast asleep. I remember. Every year I do a charity show in Saughton Prison. It's the only chance I get to see my father at Christmas. They've let him out tonight. No, my father used to give his money to sick animals. Trouble was they never knew they were sick when he backed them. Sorry about this. No, I remember he backed a horse at 5 to 1 that came in at 10 to 3. But I'll never forget the first time. We did do charity shows in Saughton Prison, and you can imagine the atmosphere, you know, like 350 captive audience. And they're all and they're all sitting there with their Christmas hats on and their crackers on. Just try and be funny. And I got up there and I says, hello cats, and I started off with Born Free. Yeah, No, but I used to tell a lot of Pakistani jokes. Never forget, I used to tell one about the team of Pakistanis that came up to Scotland for the Highland Games. And on the second day of the Highland Games, the leader of the Pakistanis walked into this pub, and they're very quick with the accent, as you all know. And he walked in and says, "Oh my God, I know you can. Okay. Your Highland Games are far too rough for me and my team. We're only in for 2 events and already we've got 144 casualties. Oh, it's a brobrit mullet chapati dinu." And the boy says, "Come on, Abdul, who are you kidding?" He says, "What 2 events?" He says, "Heading the hammer and catching the javelin." Well, I was in Bradford. And the kid looked around the audience and I couldn't see any Pakistanis, so I told that joke and what I thought was a big empty space got up and walked out. So, later on, I'll be telling a joke about a guy with no arms, no legs. Anybody here with no arms, no legs? For Christ's sake, keep the heat. Right, and one day the royal train come in and my heart it burst with fright, for a peeked into the window and what do you think I spied? Her Majesty the Queen herself, the Duke was sitting by her side. "You'll be a mummet, you've got to change for Octor Muctor." Somebody singing in Japanese there. "Change for Echo, Fake and Aberdeen, and our stations in between, unless you want to go to Tober." Last year, that's 3 years ago now, I got a letter for the tax that says, "Dear Mr. Barclay, would you please send your earnings for 71.72? I wrote back and says, "I spent them." I was sort of, oh, I must tell you this, if I've not told you it before. There's a wee boy and he's going to a fancy dress ball. I've got this in my mind all the time, I've got to get rid of it. And he's going to a fancy dress ball and he's got sandpaper around his wee willy. And he turns up the doorman and says, "Who are you supposed to be?" He says, "Dick Emery." That's what I thought. Well, you've seen me fill my barrel, you've seen me sweep the flare. When a tip is not forthcoming, you can hear me cuss and swear. When a train comes in the station, my heat gun's in the air, and you'll hear me loud and clear. You've got to change for Octor Mucty, Terrier, Tucker, Creeper, Corrignose. Come on, fight for Johnny, take some spells and Quaker. Change for Echo, Fake and Aberdeen, and our stations in between, unless you want to go to Dover. Change for Octor Mucty, Terrier, Tucker, Creeper, Corrignose, Shorthand, fight for Johnny, take some spells and Quaker. Change for Echo, Fake and Aberdeen, and our stations in between, unless you want to go to Tobermory. I'm going to open my fairy sleeves. They're killing me. Wait a minute. 2 years ago, I was over and you can't roll them up. You fling them out of your head. What do you do? Well, new trousers, no pockets. Look. Like a mum guy did. Got a frog muscle, it's been there for 3 weeks. I think the bugger's an alcoholic. Boy. A couple of years ago, that's one of them. A couple of years ago, I was out in America, and as I was saying earlier, I may as well fascinate you. The Americans speak very funny, you know. They couldn't understand the word they were saying, and they kept saying, "Hey." They kept calling me a drink, you know. They say, "Hey, you scotch." So I went around with a couple of ice cubes in each ear, and he's going, and says, "It's true that you scotch your type of money?" And I says, "Partially true, because the guy next door to me was going to commit suicide, and he broke into my house to gas himself." I says, "No, so if ever you see a Scottish wedding, they've got confetti and elastic bands," and they go, "Hello." The beauty, I used to tell them jokes. I used to tell them anti-American jokes, like the one about the American in Princess Street. And he goes up to this policeman and he says, "Hey, Jack." The policeman says, he says, "Yeah, you, hey, Cappy Jack." He says, "Yeah." He says, "Is this here the Capitulo of Scotland?" And the cop says, I still, was that the Dixon? Oh, aye. This is Edinburgh, the capital of Scotland. This is man, this must be the asshole of the whole world. This is he passing through, sir. Anyway. Sorry, they can cut that out. No, but what happened was I had to sort of get a corny song to sing it to them, and this is one of them. This is the Butler's Holiday Camp song, if I can get this one again. This is Off to the Camp, the Country Cats, Here I Come. George came up with a bit of it. There's a wee boy down here called George. Chap, there he is, with the side like always lost him. Oh, it was a love bite. Anyway, George, I went up with George yesterday and he's standing there with his feet. I says, what's wrong with your feet? He says, I've got sciatica. I says, what do you mean sciatica? He says, sciatica size 9, near 8. Big hand for George. That is that's enough, that's enough. Right, here we go. We're off to the camp in the country, hurray, hurray. We're off to the camp in the country, hurray, hurray. Irish stew for dinner, apple pie for tea, a roly-poly junior belly, hip 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 hooray. That's the chorus, come on. If you're English, we'll do it again. It's we're off to the camp in the country, rah rah. We're off to the camp in the country, rah rah. Irish stew for dinner, apple pie for tea, roly-poly down your abdomen, hip 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 hooray. Dr. Finley, I've got terrible heartburn. Aye, Janet, your left tit's in the soup. Come on. We're off to the camp in the country, hurray, hurray. We're off to the camp in the country, hurray, hurray. Irish stew for dinner, apple pie for tea, a roly-poly junior belly, hip 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 hooray. There's farmers out in the country, hurray, hurray. There's farmers out in the country, hurray, hurray. They like to see you gain a hand and helping with the hay. But when it comes to stumping up, they look the other way. Oh, we're up to the camp in the country, hurray, hurray. Come on, off to the camp in the country. Irish, hey, roll, junior. What do you think the show's over? Right, never asked you. Sit back in your chair and we'll plug it in. It's terrible when you've not got any hecklers, you've got to invent them. This is good. There's fresh air out in the country, hurry, hurry. There's fresh air out in the country, hurry, hurry. They say the air is fresher there than being by the sea. But when I'm walking past the sty, it's far too fresh for me. Oh, we're up to the camp in the country, hurry, hurry. We're up to the camp in the country, hurry, hurry. Irish stew for dinner, apple pie for tea, a roly-poly junior belly, hip 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 hooray. There's beasties out in the country, hurry, hurry. There's beasties out in the country, hurry, hurry. Well, some of them's is horses, some of them's is ewes, some of them's is pigs and geese, and the rest of them are coos. Oh, we're up to the camp in the country, hurry, hurry. We're up to the camp in the country, hurry, hurry. Irish stew for dinner, apple pie for tea, a roly-poly junior belly, hip 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 hooray. I think I'm singing in a different key here, I can't hear it. Hello, hello. That's it. Favourite verse. This is my favourite verse anyway. It's yours as well, it's the last one. You know, every time John Wayne is over here in Scotland, he always phones me up. I don't know if he says so. He always phones me up and he always says Billy Blue, and I say, well, the hell are you, Kincaid? I've seen all these films, The King and I and all that. Anyway, every time we're out for a drink, he's always got wet trousers, like, but they're real, you know, he's always got his wet, like, socking. So we're out for a drink this night and I says, John, he says, oh, he was tuning up any day. I says, John, how come every time I see your trousers are with soaking wet? He says, well, Bill, the hell you're the new. He says, every time I go to the toilet and I'm standing there, the guy next to me always says, Is you John Moon? You'll be the only ones in the record that get that joke. Have to do the cover like that. There's lassies out in the country, hooray, hooray. There's lassies out in the country, hooray, hooray. They all say the lassies love a fling, ladies company, oops. How comes the lassies never flings themselves at me? Oh, we're off to the camp in the country, hooray, hooray. We're off to the camp in the country, hooray, hooray. Irish stew for dinner, apple pie for tea, hurray, polly, junior belly, hip, 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 hooray. John, everybody put their hands up in the air. I know it's early, but come on, hands up in the air, hands in the pockets. And you'll have to get an ambulance home. I'm going to get you to clap them. Come on. Come on! Come on, Brendan, up you get. Up you get. Fantastic when you know everybody, you know. Those who don't put their hands up, we've got big sweaty marks having the shape. Come on. She'd come up here and smell this. Oh. It's amazing how it gets through a new shirt. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on. Clapping up behind us. Everybody. Stamp your feet, eh? We're up to the camp in the country. Hurray, hurray. We're up to the camp in the country. Hurray, hurray. For dinner, apple pie for tea, a roly-poly junior belly, hip, 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 hooray! No, what we'll do is, have we dropped cider? You get short measures of cider here. If anybody's got any requests, keep them to yourself. Because last time I was here I got one, I couldn't find a taxidermist. Actually, this is something you don't know, I used to be in the police force, you know. And what happened, I'll never forget my first night shift. I came out and the inspector says, right, Constable Barclay, he says, here's your beat. He says, for here to that wee red light in the distance. I was away for 3 weeks, the wee red light was a lorry got to Inverness. Anyway. Here's a goal I've told, especially, who hasn't heard me before? Who hasn't heard me before? You have, Dad. Well, especially for these 6. 7, 8. I'll put the guitar down. It's a very expensive guitar, that is it. I got a Lenny at the night, it's a Martin, you know, he says you can have the guitar but you'll not get the strings. No, this is, this guy goes into a bookmaker's. I know a lot of you have heard it before, but you've not heard it as much as I have. The guy goes into a bookmaker's and he says, excuse me, I've just backed up and the boy says, 5 to 1 winner. He says, no, he says, well, give me a chance to tell you. He says, I've just backed up and the boy says, 50 to 1 winner. He says, no, he says, it's mad, it's a story. We give me a chance to tell him. He says, well, come on. He says, I've got these people to serve with the Derby. The one with the hurdles. And he says, so I've just backed up, and the boy says, 500? He says, no. He says, you have to go through and see the boss. He says, because I'm far too busy. So the guy goes up the door and he goes, and everybody in the bookie shop's going, oh, and he says, that's the toilet door. The boss, he says, oh. So he goes there and he goes, and the boss says, come in. The chap says, I'm not taking a Mickey. He says, but I had to talk like this is, and the boy says, come on, would you, Baba, what? He says, well, just back to and the boss joined in, and the boss gone, and everybody in the shop's taking side bets to see who'll get there first. Of a pound. And the boss says, for 5 to 1, he says, no! He says, it's my story, we want to tell you to talk like, maybe give it a chance. And the boss says, well, okay, come on, I didn't take as long as, and the boy says, you. He says, no, maybe you, I. So it gets a bit complicated. He says, I've just backed off, and the boss trying not to join in, he's miming, he's going, he says, 51, he says, no. He says, look, there's a 100 quid. He says, does that cover your bet? And the chap says, ta. His speech wasn't that bad. And he's walking out the door and the boss says, wait, he says, what race was your horse in? He says, no, he says, I just backed off 5-ton truck into your Jaguar. Well, that'll tell you. Tell the other one while we're on that one. This guy, we'll take the nearest racecourse to here. This guy phones up Epsom. Because I keep getting mixed up. The guy phones up Epsom racecourses and he says, hello? And the boy says, hello? He says, is that the manager of Epsom racecourses? And he says, yes. He says, well, he says, when's the next race meeting, manager? He says, you try to be funny, we had a race meeting today. And he hung up, put the phone. I've often wondered, you know, when Livingston invented the telephone, the trouble, Marconi, sorry, they're all one. Bell invented the telephone. It must have been terrible for him, because imagine inventing a telephone and going, I've done it at last. You pick up, you dial a number and you go, hello? Hello? And there's nobody else invented one. Hello? Must have been hanging about for years. Anyway, 5 hours later the guy phones up and he says, hello, is that the manager of Epsom Resources? He says, yes. He says, when's the next meeting? He says, you the guy that phoned before? He says, yes. He says, I told you. We had a race meeting today, and he crashed again with the phone. 5 o'clock in the morning, no, 4:30, 4:45, the phone rings. He picks up and he says, hello? I says, jockey's hurdle jumping. He says, yes, I think so. He says, when's the meeting again with the whips and jumping? He says, are you the guy that phoned twice before? He says, yes. He says, you're steaming. He says, yes. He says, right. He says, where are you? I'm going to get the police to lift you. He says, I'm locked in the bar at Epsom racecourses. Let's sing an Ian Rankin song now. Ian used to be a very good friend of mine until he heard me singing this. And he's now back in Canada. Dick Emery. It's called Mr. Sax. Sorry, this one's got last. I'll do it very fast. Sorry, we can slow that down, it'll come out fine. No, I'd like to do it. It'll come in very handy in the winter. He's saving up for an aeroplane. The old man wakes up in the morning. The clock is hanging around 7. He stops his coffee from burning, and he picks up his reason for living. His saxophone has lost its tone, and he has lost a gift he had for playing. Yes, but nobody would ever dream of seeing. Come on, everybody, please, Mr. Sax. Please, Mr. Sax, play us a song. Play us a song. The one you learn, the one you learn. in 59 in Frisco. Please, what's the say? Oh, please, Mr. Sykes, let us come along. You let us come along. Step inside your dreams. Step inside your dreams and let the kids go. 8 o'clock, they come in to hear him. His face lights up as he climbs on. He tells them of the bands he's played in, and their little minds get caught up in the glamour. But then a boy will say, yes, will you play? And as he plays, he wallows in his newfound status. Yes, you wonder who's pleasing, who's the greatest. Everybody, please, Mr. Sykes, play us a song. Play us a song, the one you learn, the one you learn. 59 in Frisco. Please, Mr. Sykes, please, Mr. Sykes, let us come along. Let us come along. Step inside your dream. Step inside your dream and let the kids go. The hair's pulled up at 9 o'clock this morning. They say it died last night around 11. The kids had nearly kicked the door in. For they say they had him play today at 7 until this day. All the children say, well, despite all the parents warning, hey, Mr. Sykes, he plays for them each morning. Please, Mr. Sykes, play us a song. The one you learn, the one you learn, is 59 in Frisco. Please, Mr. Sykes, let us come along. Step inside your dreams. Guitar solo. It's very difficult because it's very difficult for me to sort of relax and be myself and things, but if you all come back to my house, just, I'm going to do, as I say, it's just about everything I've done. And this one, could you make less noise with a crisp, please? Could you take your teeth out? And just it's terrible, it's not even Halloween, they're all duking for crisps, they're going. No. No, this is my first, actually, this was my first hit single, and this is the one that probably made me famous. I mean, you go up to anybody in Edinburgh and say, you know Bill Barclay, and they say, who? So this is, no, if anybody saw the film Easy Rider, this has got nothing to do with it. It's from The Sound of Music. It's all about an out-of-work prostitute. It's called Edelweiss. We'll let you all to join in. Come on, here we go. There are other words to this, but something to do with tentacles again, but we'll do it. Does your hair hang low? Does it swing to and fro? Can you tie it in a knot? Can you tie it in a bow? You throw it on your shoulder like a continental soldier. Does your hair hang low? That's the chorus. If you're awfully shy, you can do it like this. You go. That's the thing. Come on, you better sing. Does your hair hang low? Swing to and fro. You tie it in a knot. Can you tie it in a bow? You throw it on your shoulder like a continental soldier. Does your hair? Well, that's the chorus. It's in Gaelic. It's called Just put your mouths muthezos for the Spanish, muchos, like that, pout your, whatever you do with your lips, go like that, come on, you might get a kiss. I remember doing this and Mick Jagger was in the front row of it, and it was like a big suction pad. Took 3 bouncers to get us apart. I'll never forgive the buggers. Come on. You do that with your mouth shut. Drink your beer, God. Anybody looks at this, it's not me. Does your wooden leg give you trouble when you're tight? Keep falling off when you get into a fight. Your wife complaining splinters in the middle of the night. Does your hair hang low? Everybody! Does your hair hang low? Swing to and fro. You tie it in a knot, can you tie it in a bow? You throw it on your shoulder like a continental soldier. Does your hair hang low? Here we go! Does your teeth come out every single night? You put them in a jar, do you hide them out of sight? Shout up lungs when you got clear gums. Does your hair hang low? Does your hair hang low? Swing to and fro. You tie it in a knot, can you tie it in a bow? You throw it on your shoulder like a continental soldier. Does your hair hang on your own? You're as daft as me, eh? Sexy verse. Does your teeth, does your right, does your leg, does your right, does your right come out, do you keep it in a jar? Your chest stick out with your padded bra, if you can't find it, it's in your boyfriend's car. Does your chest hang low? Or does your chest hang low? Can you tie them in a knot? Can you tie them in a bow? Can you throw them up? Does your chest? Does your hair hang low? Does it swing to and fro? Can you tie it in a knot? Can you tie it in a bow? Throw it on your shoulder like a continental soldier. Does your hair hang low? Does your hair hang low? That's off the cuff, I've got plenty of room for more. Now this is something I want to do. I remember the first time I went to England, everybody saying, you've, oh sorry. Oh. What happened was, this is, you've got to talk very slowly for the Inglesi. So, I says, oh, you know, and they says, now you can't tell Scottish term jokes. You can't tell jokes like, the one about the honeymoon couple that just got married, and the first night the boy says, Maggie, or he says, she says, they all said. It was an orgy. Now the first night she says, George, you're a hell of a pigeon-chested. He says, that's why I love you like I do. Says you can't tell jokes like that because English don't know a do is a pigeon or a pigeon because they didn't get handicap. So I went away doing it to do my first gig, and it was in Ashington, which is in Newcastle. It's north of Newcastle, and they say things like they really talk weird. You think weird difficult? There you go. And so it goes, talk a lot, talk a lot, talk a lot. Anyway, we went down there, and I had to speak very slowly and say, hello, how are you? And they all went. I says, I'll do the Geely Peace song, but I had to explain it. So this is the way I explained the Geely Peace song to the English. In Scotland, we have things called tenementes. Now, tenementes are houses or houses on top of each other. At the back of a tenemente, we have a thing called a back green. A back green is a green patch where the female of the house or house hangs up her washing line, and she hangs the kiddies up while she goes her messages. You may think it very strange, but it keeps the pigeons out the back green. Now, when I was about 12 years old, going back 9 years ago now, it's a while since I've done it, we used to sort of play games. We played games like skipping, doctors and nurses. I knew you were different for us ages ago. Anyway, and whenever we got hungry or starving, we would shout up to the window, and it would go something like this. We'd go, Ma! Or Meta. Now, Ma or Meta would pop her head out the window, and she would say, yes, my flower. She said, what do you want you to do? Sorry. I'm going to have to swim off this stage. So, what do you want? Say, do you throw me down a Geely Peace, or could you fling me a jam butty? And she would say, yes, my beloved, hold on now. So she'd come back and she'd fling you or out a Geely Peace or a jam butty, but 9 times out of 10 it would land in a puddle. A puddle. But it used to soften the breed, and I used to had to get there before the sparries. No, I come from a very poor family. There was 14 in my family. I was very good to my mother. I used to tie my feather at the wardrobe every night. Look, he's at it again, look. Get off that! Off! If only I could find the way these trousers came off. No. No, seriously. My mother used to apply for a home help. They sent a shepherd and 3 dogs. I was 15 years old before my father bought me any place. Starkers naked. He sent me to school in a nudist colony. It was terrible. I got expelled because I walked up to the school mistress and I says, I'm pleased to see you, miss. She says, I can see that. When I was 15, I'll never forget my 15th birthday, my father bought me a bonnet so as I could lean out the window. Nowadays, the kiddie winkles stay in multi-storey flats, or flats. And the poor kiddie that stays up in the top, I come from Edinburgh. Well, I was born in Leith. I was born in South Lawn Place in Leith. And, there was 2 people in Leith. Seemed awfully empty when I came out. No, but what happened was, really, I moved up and I realised that the Edinburgh people sort of speak very posh. They say things like, I can't come out tonight, I'm staying to wash my head. Or, the bus came round the corner and nearly cowed her. You know. I used to be I used to be a salesman up in Morningside, and I remember walking up to this door, and I knocked at the door, and this woman opened the door in her nightdress. Funny place to have a door. And she says, yes. I says, I've never asked you yet. She says, what do you want? I say, excuse me, madam, how high is your rate? She says, we don't have rates, just mice. Anyway, no, seriously, don't clap me around, somebody will throw a fish. I remember, I thought it was raining there for a minute. It is, probably. No, what happened was, I remember I walked into Burton's. Burton's had a sale on. Remember that sale? They had this sale on, you know. It says, suits going cheap. Not necessarily the jacket matches with the trousers, but suits going cheap. So I was like, you know, you were looking for stage gear. And I walked in and I says, can I look at the cheapest suit you've got in the shop? He says, you're wearing it. So he measured me up, he says, would you like buttons in the fly? I says, no, I'll pay for them. Well, it's got nothing to do with what I was telling you about. Nowadays, nowadays the Kidderwinkles stay in multi-storey flats. Or as Chick Murray would say, I was walking along the road and I tripped and I fell, and this chap says, oh, you fell, Chick? I says, no, I'm breaking by a chocolate in my pocket. Well, nowadays, they stay in multi-storey flats. What's the next one? And the poor kid that stays in the top of a block of multi-storey flats shouts up to the window and goes, Ma! You're expecting Ma to come down the place up and go, hello! And pick him up and carry him out of the railway dyke. Ma comes out with a pair of binoculars and a megaphone and goes, hello! Hello! Hey, you wee bugger! She says, Ma, could you throw me to a jelly beans? And she says, aye. There was switch before the switch. Anyway, Ma would go away and throw a jelly piece out, and 9 days later it would land. So, a guy called Adam McNaughton wrote a song called the Jelly Piece Song, which I'll have to do now after that introduction. Right, here we go. Enough of your heckling. That's my mother. What do you do when your mother heckling you? She was heckling me before I was born. She was going, shut up! It was mother. She used to be a jockey, and she sort of worked until the 8th month. There we go, cats. Right. Well, finally a joke I have to tell you. There's a skunk family. There's a mommy skunk, a daddy skunk. This is what won the Corny Joke of the Year competition 2 years ago. There's a mommy skunk, daddy skunk, two-way skunks. One of the mommy skunks is called in, the other one's called out. When in's out, out's in. When out's out, in's in. This the in's out, and out comes in. And mommy skunk says, out wears in. He says, out. He says, well, would you go out and bring it in? So out goes out and brings it in. And mommy skunk says, out. How do you get in so quick? He says, instinct. No. I don't remember it. I'm a skyscraper when I live on the 13th floor. I'm no going out to play anymore. Since we moved to Castlemore, come wasting away. For I'm getting one meal less every day. Oh, you can't fling pieces out a 20-storey flat for 700 hungry bears. So testify to that. Here's butter, cheese or chili, need a big people in a pan. The odds against it reaching after 1991. On the first day, Mama flung out a Dodden-Hovis broom. It skited out the window and went up into the room. Every 27 hours my piece comes into sight, for it's went into orbit and became a satellite. Oh, you can't fling pieces out at 20. Come on! 700 so testify to that. Beer, butter, cheese or chili, be the breed, be plain and pan. The odds were out at reaching after 1991. On the second day, Mama thought that she would try again, and she had the pilot of a low-flying plane. He wiped it off his goggles and cried down the intercom, the Clydeside Reds have got me with a breeding jelly bomb. Oh, you can't fling pieces at a 20-storey flat. 700 hungry bears, I'll testify to that. Beer, butter, cheese or chili, been a big people in a pan. The odds against it reaching after 1991. On On the third day, Mama thought she'd have another go. Salvation Army band was playing to blow. Onward Christian soldiers was the tune that they played, but the Oompa man was playing on my peach and marmalade. Oh, you can't fling pieces at the 20-story flat for 700 hungry bairns all testified to that. The butter cheese are doing, we're a big playing our band. The odds against it reaching after 1991. Well, they're gonna ride to Oxfam for to try and get some aid. For all the bairns in Castlemilk have joined the Peace Brigade, marching on to George Square demanding civil rights. Like the mere hussies our peace flinging heights. Oh, you can't fling pieces at the 20s. Everybody come on! 700 hungry bairns will testify to that. Here's butter, cheese, and cake, clap your hands if you want, come on! The odds against it, reading after 99. Oh, you can't fling pieces at the 20s. 700 hungry bairns will testify to that. Here's butter, cheese, and cake, I'll be the big plane of band. The odds against it, reaching out, the odds against it, reaching out, the odds against it, reaching out, at 1994. If anybody else leaves, I'm coming down to the bus stop to sing. Two wee Scottish gentlemen in the army during the last World War, and they kept causing trouble, like beating up their own officers and getting into trouble. So they says, we'll send them over to Germany and get rid of them. So they dropped them by parachute right in the middle of Germany territories, and they got lifted. And the Germans are questioning them, a right couple of hard wee nuts, you know. The German officer says, "What's your names?" kind of way the Germans talk. And the wee boy says, "You want to go to war with them on with 80?" He says, "Fair to use comfy." He says, "Look, pal," he says, "just get us a drink, otherwise." "What are you doing here?" I think it was an Aberdonian German. "What are you doing here?" So he says, "We have ways of making use chalk." Chalk. The school teacher. Chalk. He says, "Take the V-Wand into the Wund." So they picked up the V-Wand, flung him in the Wund. The big Wand goes out the door, and he's listening, and he hears, "What's your name, V-Wand?" "Where you come from?" "What are you doing here?" "Will you stop hitting me while I'm trying to question you?" There you go. There we go. And the guitar work in this is pretty fantastic, so sit back a bit. So you don't get pneumonia off the draft of my fingers. Oh, Manusa, oh. On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a wee heavy and a half pint. On the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 2 nips of gin and a wee heavy and a half pint. On the third day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 3 black and tans, 2 nips of gin, come on, and a wee heavy and a half pint. On the fourth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 4 baby shams, 3 black and tans, 2 nips of gin, and a wee heavy and a half pint. On the fifth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 5 happy days. Well, 4 baby shams, 3 black and tans, 2 nips of gin, and a wee heavy and a half pint. On the 6th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 6 cars and specials, 5 happy days. Everybody well, 4 baby shams, 3 black and tans, 2 nips of gin, and a wee heavy and a half pint. On Sunday, my true love gave to me Swimmers, rum and coke, 6 cars especially fine. Happy days, everybody well. 10 minutes, my son. 4 breakfast on 3 clacking bangs, 2 grops on. And we have an apple. All you people play. My will give to me 8 nuts, seven common ducks, 5 happy 4 baby songs, 3 black and we have it a happy. Oh, in the nice this man, my will give to me 9 boiled climb, 8 nuts, 2 nuts, and here we go. 5 happy days, and we have relax. Oh, this is me. On a 10th, this is man. On one of the days, this is man. My room gave to me 10 crumble-mumps, 9 balls, like 8 nuts, 2 nuts, here we go! We had a 5 happy. Do you not know the words? All of them is a man. All of them is a woman. My serve gave to me blue, oven blue lagoons. Hungry, heavy and happy. All the 12 Christmases present to love me. 12 August also. 11 blue lagoons, 10 condiments, 9 black and light, 8 nips of whiskey, 7 rubbing coat, 6 cardboard specials, 5, come on. Happy days, and 4 baby shams, 3 black and tan, 2 nips. Big finish, here we go, way up there. And now we I'd like to leave you with this word of thought, especially you, that a bird in the hand sits in your wrist. People in glass houses shouldn't, someone may be looking in. Man who speak with hot tongues shouldn't have blocked balloons. And I was in a chemist today, and I walked up, and the guy says, what do you like? I says, you got a packet of conservatives. He says, you mean contraceptives? I says, anything to keep labour out. We'll finish up, come on. We shall not be moved. Make a noise. We shall not be moved, just like a tree. Passing by the waterside. We shall not be. Last day, everybody go. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree. Passing by the waterside. We shall not be